Gamers, welcome back to PDPL. Tonight, we are here with the semifinals match between Otto and C-Rad Charles, two dynamite coaches, even amongst the best of the best, the cream of the crop in this truly high level and invite only league. These guys are still standouts amongst the best of their peers, which is pretty obvious considering they're both in semifinals. And honestly, I expect this to be a killer match. I'm psyched to see it. I'm psyched to see what happens. But of course, I'm not doing this alone. I would never do anything like this alone. I am joined, as always, by smart, handsome, funny, talented, skilled, incredible, greatest co-host in history, the Tobster, aka Toby. Toby, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Raz. How are you doing, my friend? I feel like half of that was lies that you're blowing up my ass, but all
I
right.
would ne- I would never lie.
Oh, all right. All right. I'm just making sure. Okay. Well, then I'm very happy to be here. This is
Me
obviously a
too.
very high profile, very high stakes match that we're going to be watching and commentating on, and I could not be more excited. But I think we'll just go ahead and get right into it here. I don't think there's too much else we have to intro. This
Yeah, I think we
is
should.
All right, let's get right into Otto versus Charles. So we're watching from Otto's perspective here, and he has Iron Moth, Dragapult, Bombardier, Rotom-Mow, Cloyster, and Grumpig. And it looks like Charles has Klefki, Colossal, Sandaconda, Kilowattrel, Clawitzer, and Salamence. And what do you think about these two teams that we're seeing here, Raz?
I think they're definitely good teams, of course. Um, Otto and Charles are notoriously good at prepping for matches, and I'm sure they have all the tools they need in the matchup. One thing that I do notice is that while Charles has his big kill leader in Kleitzer and which is simultaneously his enabler for Colossal, um, Otto has opted to leave Iron Tread's his kill leader behind this week, and I think it's an interesting matchup for it because it's weird how it interacts with like Colossal, and it's good against Kilowattrel, but it's not good against Kleitzer, and so it's like it'll be interesting to see how they play around the presence or absence of their opponent's kill leader.
Absolutely, I can agree. And I think that not bringing Iron Treads feels kind of smart on Otto's end because you obviously have that
Right.
Clawitzer in front of you, and it also feels like Charles would prep pretty hard for an Iron Shred. So it feels like a pretty smart pivot on
Yeah.
Otto's end, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I would definitely be inclined to agree, but I think it'll be interesting seeing those two different thought processes in terms of that, because of course Otto's going to be prepared for Kleitzer, and so do you say they're prepped too hard for it, it's better if I bring something else, or do you trust yourself to be able to play around whatever prep they have for it?
Very
But
true. And we will see that right now as we are into game one with Colossal and Clawitzer on the field for Charles and Dragapult Grumpig on the field for Otto. Otto locking into a move insanely quickly there with the Snarl into Grumpig and protecting into Dragapult. Like the fastest I've ever seen anybody select moves in my life.
frame one, it feels like.
That was wild.
Yeah, with selection speed like that, this definitely is a lead that he has flow charted for.
Absolutely. And we see two protects, one from Dragapult, one from Colossal. And a Snarl goes off and hits the Clawitzer.
Down to -1,
Down to
which
-1 for
does
Clawitzer. And an Ice Beam goes into a protect.
Dragapult. Pretty good turn one for Otto. Getting that special attack drop into Kleitzer and keeping both of his Pokemon completely healthy.
Absolutely.
It's it's interesting because obviously, like, when you're looking at Colossal's attacking stats, its attack and special attack, if I remember correctly, are the same, and so you can run either, and it's probably it ends up usually being a special set because its special move pool is so much better. But if Charles was ready for something like this and opted to run a physical set, then Otto might be in a little bit of trouble here. See the Terra come out, Terra Ground on Colossal.
Terra Ground is interesting.
That might be Earthquake.
Could be Earthquake. And we see an Aqua Jet go into self-proc a weakness policy.
Classic Colossal.
Or I assume what I assume is
the day came out.
I assume Steam Engine weakness policy, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's a little bit of an Earth Power. All right, so it is a special set, which means the Snarlbring is very good.
Ooh.
Dragon Ball Mids.
All right, 11 health.
The damage on the Dragon Dart's not huge, and then it goes down to Life Orb.
So rather inconsequential turn for the Dragapult.
Yeah.
But the Grumpig does get another Snarl off, and that puts the Clawitzer at -2 and the Colossal now at -1. I'm kind of surprised that that didn't kill the Dragapult, even though it wasn't dropped, I don't believe.
No. He has to have been, like, calced to live that, right? Because
you would think.
Yeah. Otto doesn't really seem like the kind of guy to, just let something like that go.
For sure. Okay. Sending in the Rotom Mow, which actually looks very, very good into both of these Mons right now.
Yeah. And with Clawitzer at -2 and Colossal in the middle of getting its weakness policy kind of invalidated, even though he's down a Pokemon, this feels like a relatively good person for Otto. Obviously, it's too early to call the game, but he seems to be pretty comfortable right now.
Okay. And it looks like he went for another Protect Snarl move here, so to effectively just get rid of that Colossal's boost. And goes into the Salamence. I'm pretty sure that's a physical set, so I doubt there would be any drops affecting a Salamence. And then a Protect into the Colossal, so that will protect it from any more drops at least this turn.
Yeah. And honestly, with how this turn plays out, I think this was a pretty good turn for Charles. It lets him bring in more offensive pressure that he was, as we said, lacking last turn. And kind of for free. Not kind of. Basically entirely for free. Unless Salamence is Sash, which it typically isn't. That seems like that went very, very well. Terra Rock?
Terra Rock on a Rotom Mow, huh? Okay.
Hold on.
Interesting.
Is he making the fattest read of all time right now?
He might be making a call.
Because he has Thunderbolt selected right now.
Okay.
Hold.
Okay.
Unless I didn't see it.
I don't
He may
believe.
have switched.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he just go. There's no way.
No,
I think it has to have lagged out when he switched to Leaf Storm, probably.
I think it lagged out on your end there. But the Terra Rock was a very good call to protect from a Heat Wave there.
Yeah,
Does this
absolutely.
Dragon Qual? Actually,
the
absolutely
double
does.
Up. That was a smart Terra. That absolutely saved his life there.
Very, very good Terra. And then the Leaf Storm.
He did switch to Leaf. Of course he did.
All right. And the Leaf Storm goes in, takes down the Colossal, and Charles is now down his setup Colossal. Grumpig going in for the Icy Wind.
That's big damage.
That'll do a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. Probably. I don't know. I think we're probably going to see who Charles has in the back here, because Clawitzer just doesn't really feel like the play at the moment. And with the speed drop on Mence.
Right. And we see Kilowattrel is in the back for Charles.
Which means Icy Wind is kind of risky. He's going to be activating competitive on Kilowattrel.
Yeah, that could be a pretty punishable move if Otto clicks his Icy Wind there, which I think he did.
Yeah, it looks like he did. It might not be competitive. I would be willing to bet that it is, but it's possible that he brought something else.
It's true.
We're going to find out. Charles taking his time to select his move, which he should.
Well, take your time to think.
Yeah, especially considering at the moment, I don't think he's in a particularly good position. So being able to slow down, find your out, and just make sure you're thinking everything through is really, really important.
Kilowattrel is wind power.
Icy Wind is not going to activate that competitive, which is actually probably a pretty good call from...
Very good. Oh my.
Ooh, big miss.
That is very, very good. But that Grumpig took no damage.
Literally nothing.
That is...
Another wind power boost from Icy Wind.
Ooh.
But, honestly, I think that was a call-out. I think Otto knew that he wasn't going to be competitive. Because Otto's team doesn't have Intimidate.
That's true. That's a fair point. We see Terra Blaster right there into the Kilowattrel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. A Protect makes sense there.
Okay. I like it. What does go for? Thunderbolt into the
Thunderbolt
Rotom
does
and
kill Rotom.
Will pick up the KO.
Interesting.
It's a 2v3, but this Grumpig is not taking damage. Like,
at all.
It's so bulky. Holy shit.
Okay.
And, like I know it's for the speed drop, but look at the damage on these Icy Winds.
Yeah, these Icy Winds are doing a lot of damage. He is proccing Kilowattrel's wind power again, so that could bite him later on.
But I think Ice Shard threatens the KO on either of these Pokemon, which puts Charles in a really tough spot.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Especially considering Salamence can't protect this turn.
It cannot. We see Otto hovering over a Protect here, debating the Protect. Maybe trying to bait a hit.
Play. He doesn't go for it. I agree with this.
I think this is fine.
Because there's a lot of pressure on right now, thanks to the inability to protect. And so, yep.
There you go.
Pick up the KO on the Kilowattrel. We've seen before, this Salamence does not do that much damage. And with Cloyster's naturally incredibly high physical defense, even if this Icy Wind missed, Salamence is way less threatening than Kilowattrel. So I definitely like shooting for that KO there, instead of going into... something a little more obvious, being the Salamence that can't protect. I like that call a lot.
Right.
And I think Otto, I think he has this on lock.
I think Otto has locked this game for sure.
Yeah.
I don't believe this Clawitzer can 2v1, especially with the bulk on that Grumpig, apparently.
Yeah, no kidding. And with Assault Vest.
Oh my gosh.
Really, really well prepped and played from Otto.
No, very, very well done.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how...
My gosh.
Jeez, that thing is so bulky.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Grumpig just KOs right after this.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah. Honestly, even if it doesn't, this is still a wrap. But it should.
So. And Psychic KOs the Clawitzer, and we are going to a Game 2 where Otto is up 1-0. I think that was very well done on Otto's end. That Grumpig took a beating.
It's one of those rare instances where when you're analyzing what went wrong, you point at the support Pokemon and you go, "That man right there, officer. He's the one."
That Grumpig. That one.
So oppressive with the special attack drops and the speed drops and just no damage.
And with no competitive either on
Yeah.
Kilowattrel. There is just that Grumpig becomes immediately way more threatening.
Yeah, because it's your counterplay's way less obvious, and like when you, it just it. Oh, jeez, that Grumpig is so bad for Charles.
Yeah.
Obviously because of like what we saw, but then it can snarl in front of Colossal, Kilowattrel, and Sandaconda probably in Salamence take so much from that Icy Wind, and then being able to reduce Clodsir's damage output as well is just
So
that thing is tough.
so if you're Charles here, what do you think you need to do to beat this Grumpig?
I think you can't. Uh, I think its biggest not it wasn't a misplay. It was something that ended up not quite being amazing for him. But in the last game, when he protected turn 1 and then went for the Ice Beam into Dragapult to protect and then targeted into the Dragapult the next turn, I think you have to use your win condition to really focus that thing down. And it's going to be hard because even at +2, that it's so bulky, and with the Assault Vest on it as well, it's not going to be doing like, it's not going to OHKO. It might not even 2-hit KO, but you have to get damage on that thing, and you have to get it early.
Absolutely. And it looks like Charles has pivoted here with Klefki and Salamence as his lead. Otto keeping it the same with Dragapult and Grumpig, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
No. I think it covers anything Charles wants to do very, very well. He's hovering at Terra Electric.
Terra Electric?
I kind of expect to see a Terra out of Charles here as well. Because, again, that Icy Wind was doing like 40-50%, if I remember correctly. You gotta get rid of that Quad Ice weakness in front of this Grumpig. Like, you have to.
Yeah, I agree.
But Otto knows. Not going for the Icy Wind and instead going for the Chilling Water to get that attack drop.
Very, very good call on his end.
My question is, what does Klefki do?
Taps.
I feel like
Okay.
it Thunder Waves into Dragapult.
Into the Grumpig. Okay. This could get interesting then, because now that Grumpig is taking para rolls every turn.
Exactly. If you get some lucky paras, you could be making some money.
Could be. Okay, so not really a lot happened other than a para on Grumpig there. So
I think we're gonna see another one this turn. Is it? I see it in my brain. He Terras to be immune to Thunder Wave? But there's no way Charles calls the Terra Electric.
yeah, he doesn't have that information currently, so
I think we see a Thunder Wave into an Electric-type Dragapult.
I think you might be right, but we will see what happens right here as Dragapult Terras into Terra Electric. Otto seemingly trying to avoid a para on his Dragapult.
What a great bring, by the way.
A very good play.
To know that he wants to get speed control and a little bit of cheese potential on your Dragapult, and to say, no thanks, not me, not today, not this week.
Absolutely, a very good play on Otto's end. And we see Charles tearing his Salamence into Terra Fairy, probably hoping to absorb some Dragon Darts. And he gets the call correct. Otto's Terra Electric negates a Thunder Wave from Charles's Klefki, and now that Dragapult has vanished.
Yeah, I really like Charles' play there because obviously without the knowledge of Terra Electric, you really want a para on that Dragapult, but knowing that Otto is smart and also knowing that Thunder Wave can miss, covering for that by going for Terra on your most vulnerable Pokemon, I think that was a really good safe play. Even if it didn't really pan out for him, I think that was a good turn by Charles.
Oh, absolutely. And turn 1 with the para into the Grumpig, I think, is a very good thing to do as well, to get your RNG rolls with your paras. So we're seeing some very good plays from both sides. And we're seeing a Reflect go up on Klefki's end. Phantom Force going to Klefki.
Not that much damage.
Not too much. Dragon Claw into the
Dragon Claw
Dragapult. Does a decent chunk. Grumpig is
And there it
parried.
is.
There we go. That para already paying off for Charles.
Now, this is a weird turn because their light screen doesn't do much, but you can't Thunder Wave, and I don't know what attacking move this Klefki would be carrying, but if it's probably not doing that much into Dragapult, even if it's something like Foul Play, and then it's like I don't know, the damage output from both sides seems pretty low here.
Yeah, it looks like the hardest hitting thing at the moment is probably Dragapult, just because it hasn't been lowered like Salamence has.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Charles taking that time to withdraw his Salamence, send out his Clawitzer.
Smart.
Okay.
I like this.
And a Phantom Force.
Disappear. Just
Dazzling Gleam.
He does have Dazzling Gleam.
Okay.
So presumably,
Oh.
This reveals that Klefki probably doesn't have Protect. It might over Reflect, but it feels likely that it's double screens Thunder Wave Gleam.
Yeah, that's probably where I would guess. I don't think it has Protect. I could be very wrong, though.
Yeah. I think Phantom Force goes into the Clydesir this turn, because now that screens are up, it feels like Klefki doesn't really pose a threat at the moment. It kind of feels like Otto might just be able to attack around it and turn this kind of into a 2v1.
This looks like a free turn to do whatever you want with Grumpig, to be honest.
Yeah, no kidding. Decent damage from Phantom Force onto the Clydesir, but...
Water
and
Pulse
it's not
kills the
resisted anymore.
Dragapult, that's
Dragapult
true.
is gonna go down.
Okay.
And now that his Terra is burned, Charles knows he can Thunder Wave whatever comes into that slot.
Absolutely.
Oh, this Grumpig, dude. It's such a problem.
It's taking damage and dishing it out right back.
Like,
This match is making me respect Grumpig quite a lot. I will say that.
I kind of can't believe it. Otto getting so much use out of that lower tier pick. That's... Jeez, what a mon.
Really, really cool to see a low tier pop off like this. And we see it go for another Snarl here, which seems pretty free here to do.
Yeah.
And what is this Rotom-Mow trying to do? I missed it. Oh,
Thunderbolt.
He's changing it up.
Unless...
Okay, Icy Wind, I can see that being a thing. And Thunderbolt into the Klefki.
And now that Otto has brought in a natural electric type, which I admittedly did forget he had in the back, he just continuing to render this Klefki kind of completely useless.
Yeah. And Charles, knowing that, switching out his Klefki here, hoping to save it for later to get screens up again or something like that. Brings out the Colossal, which is immediately procced by an Aqua Jet.
Yo.
Very good play from Charles.
I like this a lot. And I believe, if I'm not greatly mistaken, Grumpig...
Oof. I did a chunk.
Yikes.
Oh, it was
right,
a double
up.
Yeah. Okay, so that Colossal really isn't in a super great spot anyway.
I don't think it can KO anything this turn.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like you have to go for Heat Wave and hope it picks up the Rotom, which admittedly it probably does, and then like just try desperately to KO this Grumpig, because this thing
it is not going anywhere.
It really is not.
We see him go for the Protect, which is smart to try to read out that Heat Wave.
Yep. Charles did not Protect. There's the Heat Wave.
There it is.
I mean, you have to. You have to get your foot in the door.
You have to try.
And at this point...
Oh, my lord.
That's +2, by the way.
That is a +2 Colossal.
Oh, dude.
And...
Does this pick up
Colossal?
A KO?
Colossal dies to the Grumpig Psychic. Wow.
Dude, what do you do? What do you do?
Wow. A +2 stab heat wave into a Grumpig did like a 16th of its health.
I mean, like, it's... Like, I know it's thick fat,
Yeah.
but come on.
That is still just wild to see. And we see Charles bring back out the Klefki.
What's your out here if you're Charles? Like, how do you
I
deal with this?
I don't know, because if you can't break that Grumpig, you're not gonna really get anywhere.
Yeah, because if one of your mons goes down before Salamence comes back in, you're gonna get chilling watered, and then at that the freeze.
Okay.
That's big.
Oh, Lumberry. Missed it.
No, it's citrus.
Oh, Citrus. Oh, no, it was Citrus. What am I talking about?
Here comes the Gleam. Okay, decent damage.
Psychic is gonna kill the Claude, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
That freeze is actually really big, because even though it's thick fat, that heat wave damage, at this point, if you didn't know already, Charles has to know this Grumpig is a Salt Fest. So you don't have to worry about Protect. You just have to hope you get another turn of freeze and take this pig down. Because this thing is... I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more times. This thing feels so oppressive right now. It's actually insane.
This Grumpig is doing more work than I have ever seen a Grumpig do in my entire career as a Pokemon player.
Me too. Big light screen, though, and the Grumpig finally goes down to the Dragon Claw. Do we see the freeze still?
Nope, there's a thaw.
Nope, Rotom thaws.
And that is
and we see a 1v2. I think Salamence is Terra'd, but Cloyster's defense is so high.
We are looking at an endgame of Rotom Cloyster versus a Terra Fairy Salamence, and I, to be honest, don't like this Salamance's chances.
Neither do I.
I think this Cloyster is going to be a tough nut to crack. I think you spent too much time trying to kill that Grumpig, and it's sitting there and absorbing so many resources. I don't know if you come back from this.
Yeah, I don't either. And, like, if you do, it's going to be really, really tough. You could hope for some flinches.
True.
Cloyster doesn't flinch.
Doesn't get a flinch there.
This is going to be a ton of damage. I think if Rotom doesn't flinch, you're dead.
Okay.
Because you're not weak to Icicle Spear, but you also don't resist this Leaf Storm.
Right.
And there it is.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Cloyster has Icicle Spear.
Very true.
Oh, man. Double screens really coming through there, but unfortunately just not going to be enough.
Yep. And the Ice Shard all but locks this game up. So that will be a 2-0 win to Otto in the semifinals of PDPL. He will be moving on to the finals to face whoever wins between the other match. So I want to say congratulations to Otto. Very well played. What a Grumpig set, sir.
Super deserved. Just so much. He had the perfect mix of sets that are exactly what you would expect and sets that are just weird.
Wow.
That, like, knowing that the Grumpig was good in the matchup, EVing it and bringing the perfect moves in the right item, the perfect Terra on Dragapult, the Terra Rock on Rotom, who does that? Like,
very smart plays on Otto's end, for sure. But Charles did make some very good plays in his own right as well. He did play very well. I don't think he really did anything wrong, but I just think Grumpig is a tough nut to crack, apparently, for this matchup.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's one of those things I tell people all the time. Like, you can prep well and play well and still lose. Because it's Pokemon. Someone has to lose. And when you do well and your opponent does well, someone has to come out on top. And, like, Charles did that. He prepped well. I think he played well. I think he made a lot of really good choices. But, man, Otto was just... I already knew he was good. I'm blown away by his showing today in his prep and his play. That was wow. I don't know who he'll be facing, but I like his odds in finals if he keeps up like this.
Absolutely. Excellent Terras, excellent builds, excellent plays on both ends. But just that much better for Otto in this matchup.
Yeah,
So, congratulations to
absolutely.
him. Good luck in finals. And I think that's all for us today, Raz.
Yeah, I do also want to say congrats to Charles for making it this far.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
really is, I mentioned before, it really is an insane group of people, and making it to semifinals is a really big accomplishment. So congrats to him on a great season. And just like you said, I'm going to say it again, congrats to Otto on truly an insane set. Wow.
Absolutely. And I will piggyback off of that. Very, very good job on Charles's part to make it to semifinals, even in a league of
Hmm.
this caliber. So you shouldn't feel bad about your performance at all, in my opinion. But I think that's going to do it for us here. Thank you all for watching with us. Thank you for allowing us to commentate on this match. The PDPL is a very, very awesome league to watch, and I can't wait to see its conclusion in finals.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch. This is what Pokemon's all about, dude.
This is
God, I love this
Pokemon, man.
game.
Hell yeah. All right.
Yes.
We will see you all later.
Bye guys. See ya.
What is going on, everybody? This is Wakeman, and I'm super excited to be casting for the Pokemon Draft Premier League semifinals for Season 2. We have Tay versus Snoot, whose perspective we're seeing now. And we're just going to jump right into it here. We are in for a hopefully super exciting 40-minute set here. So let's see. So I think right away it's pretty apparent that Tay's bulky mode here is just incredible. He's been doing super well with it all season, and the ability to set toxic spikes with the Glamora. I think Glamora in general looks pretty nice here. I'm sure obviously Tinkaton threatens it quite a bit. I think the Iron Valiant looks like it's putting a ton of pressure onto what Snoot has brought here. But I do also think that the Rotom actually looks like a really convincing threat here for Snoot. Handles the Tinglu and the Vaporeon pretty well. Both of the really bulky, kind of annoying mons on Tay's team. But looks like he's debating between Rotom and Slowbro. It's always nice to see the player's decision making as we go. Oh, and he locks in Toadscruel. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the semifinals for the PDPL Season 2. Snoot versus Tay. So I think this Roaring Moon on lead obviously could be potentially threatened by Iron Valiant, but let's see. Okay, Glamora, Iron Valiant, and we know Roaring Moon, Tinkaton. So Tinkaton's putting a ton of offensive pressure on here. Gigaton Hammer, I would imagine, should OHKO both of these mons on Tay's side of the field. I could see if he's really worried about that, maybe a switch into Bisharp or Vaporeon or a defensive Terra. So it looks like he is Snoot has an acrobatics set with Dragon Dance. Okay, he goes for the acrobatics. Feint. Okay, interesting play here. So obviously he is hoping to call an Iron Valiant protecting here. Does Tay give it to him? No, he does not. But what's about to take this double up? Vaporeon doesn't love to take this. I would imagine it takes more than half from this double. Oh, and we see a Terra from Glamora now. I assume this is going to be to take a Gigaton. Okay, flying. Maybe thinking there was an EQ coming or something like that. Alright, let's see how much damage this Vaporeon takes. Oh, wow, it's Scarf? Not as much damage as I expected it to take. Now I don't know if I'm Snoot. Yeah, I mean switching out is just rough here because you lose your booster energy. I would assume that a big debate going on here is can he set up a Dragon Dance here? Because I would imagine if he's able to get a Dragon Dance up, he's in a really good spot. The issue is if he is that Terra flying, which it looked like it is, unless I'm blind. Okay. Okay. Kind of a defensive play here. I wonder if there's an Ice Beam going into this slot from the Vaporeon. Okay. Eats that comfortably. And we knock off the Expert Belt. Okay, it's just muddy water. Not too much damage. Okay, Spore and Gigaton Hammer. Okay. Gigaton Hammer should pick up Vaporeon from here, I'm sure. So I wonder if... It looked like the Glimmora is Scarf, so I would imagine we might see a switch out from Glimmora here to reset the Power Gem lock. And maybe, yep. And this is, I wonder if this Vaporeon has Ice Beam. That could be potentially really scary for Snoot here. Assuming it lives this, which it probably doesn't. Okay, yeah. Okay, and this Iron Valiant is going to go to sleep, which is probably not super good for Tay. Well, definitely not good for Tay. But let's see. Glimmora comes out, and it's not being immediately threatened by really much of anything on Snoot's side of the field. He could just elect to just knock off the Scarf. Or also, yeah, just Spore it and switch something else in. That could also definitely work. Okay, and it clicks knockoff into the Iron Valiant. Just gonna reveal an item. Earth Power should not kill. Oh, it does kill. Okay. I'm used to running AV Tinkaton. I think that's probably why I didn't think it was going to kill. But this Glimmora will be going to sleep here. Man, this Toadscruel is putting in work for Snoot right now. Let's see. Okay, Roaring Moon is coming back out. So now you gotta wonder now. It's like, do you hope that the Iron Valiant sleeps another turn? Oh yeah, I guess Rage Powder works. Going for a Protect. So now he's Scarf locked into Earth Power now, which is probably also not a great position to be in right now. But at this point, he's probably just trying to run out his sleep turns. I mean, this Roaring Moon looks like it's in position to really go to town. I mean, I can't imagine that Tay has much in the back to take this. Could be like an Eviolite Bisharp. We don't know Tay's fourth Mon. It hasn't hit the field yet. So I guess an Eviolite Bisharp would threaten to switch in on this Acrobatics. Alright, he does not Terra. Oh wow. Oh wow, okay. That could be a big protect, and not tearing here. Well, it's just going to click Earth Power anyway. Okay. Also makes you wonder, what is the Terra on Iron Valiant? Because if it's a Terra to resist flying, that could be potentially really scary for for Snoot. I would imagine that we see a Rage Powder and Terra now. But then again, Toadscruel is guaranteed to take 2 hits here because we know that Glamora is the fastest thing right now. Well, faster than Iron Valiant. So I feel like a Rage Powder here is still pretty safe on Snoot's end. Is he going to send the Terra Acrobatics? Okay. Oh, he didn't Terra. Okay. I mean, this feels safe still, right? It's like, okay, it's Sash, Iron Valiant. Okay. Earth Power, and I doubt that the crit mattered. Oh, Icy Wind is big. Except Toadscruel does not die. Good way to reveal the Yachi Berry there. Not super impactful. This Glamora is looking like it could come in with reset Scarflock into Power Gem or something and really clean. Like, I'm wondering if this is just switch Glamora out and Icy Wind again with Iron Valiant. It wouldn't surprise me. Because Toadscruel will definitely drop to another Icy Wind. No switches from Tay. Okay, and this is still probably just an Icy Wind, right? Oh, it's still faster. Okay, so that's probably not how Tay wanted that turn to play out. And this Glamora is asleep and also literally cannot touch this Roaring Moon now. So it's really going to come down to what Tay has in the back. And it's Tinglu. If there's any mon that can bring back these kind of situations, it's most definitely Tinglu. Rock Slide could be pretty solid here. I think you kind of have to click a move that kills Toadscruel, though, right? Like, because if you don't kill Toadscruel, because I don't think a Rock Slide does it, and if you don't kill Toadscruel, then you just get spored, which is not really a situation you want to be in. This should kill. Oh wow, it doesn't. Okay, poison spikes or toxic spikes go up. Don't really envision that mattering too much this set. Okay, he gets spored. So he gets spored. Now the question is, a Flamigo in the back is probably a prime candidate to make this, to clean up this late game. That's at -1 speed now. That is funny. I don't think that matters too much because it should still be faster than Tinglu. I mean, I don't think there's any way I don't think this Tinglu really has anything that can OHKO Flamigo, right? It's a lot of damage. Yep, that will definitely be a dead Tinglu. Alright, it does look like this is gonna be Snoot's game here. Glamora does wake up. Does the Earth Power pick up? Nope, doesn't even pick up. There's going to be a dead Glamora. And we're on to game 2. So I think that both sides gained a lot of information, obviously. I think that Tay knowing about the Dragon Dance setup is really big for how he plays around it. I think he may choose to more aggressively target down the Toadscruel this game, because the Toadscruel really put a hamper on his ability to gain any momentum, because it just kept putting things to sleep. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if maybe that is his game plan here. But I think there were just a couple turns there where it definitely could have gone either way. So if I'm if I'm Tay here, I'm definitely not feeling too bad yet. And I wonder if Snoot will adjust, given that he knows about the Scarf Glamora now. There's definitely a chance. I will say I don't think he did no, actually I don't think he did reveal Scarf Flamigo, because he was at -1 speed and Glamora went first with the Scarf, so he didn't necessarily reveal the Scarf yet. Tinkaton did put a lot of early pressure on, but it didn't actually get to get that much damage off. I do wonder if maybe we see Tinkaton not come on lead. I think a Roaring Moon Toadscruel lead could be pretty nice here. Although knowing about that Icy Wind now is pretty scary. So he is going the Roaring Moon Toadscruel. I think that does make a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, like I said, you're gonna probably be a little bit afraid of that. The Icy Wind's coming out, but I mean, really, it's like even if he's not boosting speed, like even if he's not having a net speed gain, it's just getting that attack boost just feels so good. I feel like if you're Snoot, I don't. Tay kind of showed very few really solid switch-ins to that +1 Terraflying Acrobatics. So I think that the ball is in Tay's court now to figure out the adjustment here. But let's see what it is. Tinglu Iron Valiant, okay. So this is a really interesting spot now. Because you immediately think, well, the Tinglu is kind of spore bait here. I wonder if this is a double into Toadscruel, maybe? Like a close combat and a throat chop. We don't really know if the Iron Valiant is purely special yet. Icy Wind could kind of pretty feasibly be on either set, I think. This feels like a pretty safe play to me. Okay, no switches. Let's see. Okay, D-Dance comes up. Okay, I think it is just a double into the Toadscruel. Nice. That is going to be a dead Toadscruel. That's potentially really big. It's hard because obviously he was able to set his Roaring Moon up very well. I wonder if I think either switch could make sense. I feel like the Tinkaton fake out pressure seems very good. And feint plus acrobatics into that slot, into the Valiant slot does feel pretty free. Even if he protects, if he switches, it kind of just that answers either of those plays. He is pickpocket on Tinkaton. That's really interesting. think there's any world where he goes for another Dragon Dance in this position. I think I'm really curious to see how much this Roaring Moon is doing to the Tinglu. I don't envision it's doing all that much, but because we saw it take a lot from, we saw the Tinglu take about what 70% from that close combat from Flamigo. Okay, and Iron Valiant comes out into Glimora. Okay, so he's gonna get Toxic Spikes up here. Another Dragon Dance. Ignore me. I did just say there's no way, but I mean, looks like that play probably isn't going to be punished. So he will eat that and get the berry. So now this Tinkaton is able to pickpocket. Oh man, that's really cool actually. Wow. I'm taking notes. That's really sick. Okay. I didn't know it would interact like that. I figured it would be the next attack would proc pickpocket, but I guess it makes sense because like weakness policy interactions and stuff. Learn something new every day. So I think now this +2 Roaring Moon definitely is threatening some big damage into Tinglu. I was kind of semi-doubting it, but now that it's at +2, I really don't see it. Okay. Okay, pretty passive turn here. Let's see what the Scarflock is. Power Gem, yep, makes sense. Just covers for the Terra really nicely. Great turn for Snoot in terms of not letting Tay get too much damage off. Yeah, this Glimmer will definitely die to this. I would be interested to see if this is a switch out into Iron Valiant from the Glimora. That could be really interesting. Wonder if Acrobatics is even safer into Glimora there. Okay, we're gonna see the Terra. I assume this is on Tinglu, yeah. Was this Fairy? Okay. Oh, wow. That is gonna be pretty hard for Tay to hit. Or for Snoot to hit. Apologies. I wonder if he has Terra Blast. If he has Terra Blast, this game could definitely swing in Tay's favor really fast here. So he does get the double layer of Toxic Spikes off before losing Glimora. Definitely what you want to see. Oh, wow. Okay, that is crazy. So that is a huge momentum shift for Tay here. That will... There's like no Roaring Moon set that eats that. And now you're threatening the Oko onto... Although... You do have to worry about taking this Gigaton Hammer now. Although your Sash is intact on Iron Valiant, which is definitely really helpful. Okay, it's Vaporeon. I think it's very nice that Tay has Vaporeon in the back. For him, that is. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if Tinglu eats this Gigaton Hammer. And Vaporeon does not doesn't die to this close combat, but definitely does not love to eat it. Oh wow, that's big. That's really big. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That could be really impact. No, I do think that's impactful, but I also think that Tay is still probably in a pretty good spot here because he is going to be able to just bring in that Iron Valiant and close combat the Tinkaton. I mean, there's no world where Tinkaton eats that. Well, I've said that twice, and I'm pretty sure I was wrong both times. So, who knows? But I'm pretty sure that Tinkaton will not eat a close combat here. And I'm pretty sure this Terra Blast will pick up the Flamigo. It definitely will because it's at -2 defense. So this looks like it's probably going to be Tay's game. Crazier things have happened, but alright, took a long time to decide on his last Pokemon there. Alright. So he is going to reveal the Terra Grass. Or maybe not. Will he reveal it? It does, to my eyes, it feels like unnecessary information to give away. There's probably just CC into Tinkaton, and I mean, I guess I could see there being a Moonblast into the Flamigo here, or you know, whatever his fairy move might be. Does his revealing of the Fairy Terra pan out? I mean, Iron Valiant doesn't die to this anyway. Holy cow. Okay. I mean, there's still very little Tay can do to, or Snoot can do. Oh, wait. So the feint is super guaranteed here. Assuming it picks up, which I think it will. And then, no, he doesn't. He just clicks Throat Chop, I think. But Tay has to play this really carefully, because if he Gigaton Hammers now... No, he definitely has to feint here. This is a free Throat Chop, right? Yeah, okay. That should be a dead Tinkaton. Okay. That was very, very, very close to being Snoot's game. That Terra Fairy Tinglu was a huge reveal. Super impactful to that game for sure. Alright, so now... So they both revealed 2 new Terras that game. We know about the Grass Tinkaton and the Fairy Tinglu. Both I think are super potentially very impactful Terras to reveal. So that's big information for both sides. I do think that will obviously make Tay, you know, a little bit maybe more hesitant to click that Stomping Tantrum, but I think more so it will make Snoot maybe opt to just click Brave Bird into that Tinglu instead of Close Combat. So he's going back to the Tinkaton lead with Flamigo. Interesting. So Slowbro and Rotom looks like they might be staying on the bench all set. He's considering. Alright, he locks it in. Flamigo, I think, obviously has the potential to put a ton of pressure here. I mean, obviously the crit it got was pretty lucky, but, I mean, just knowing that you can, threaten 2-hit KOs on at least a 2-hit KO on pretty much everything here is really insane. I don't think there's anything here that really eats a close combat for less than half, other than that Terra Fairy Tinglu, which if he's able to force it this early with Tinkaton on the field could be a huge problem for Tay. But I do think that if I had to guess, I would guess that Tay keeps his same 4. Probably maybe different order, but it seems like the same 4 would be pretty likely here, in my opinion. I'm wondering if the Toad Scroll in the back will mean that it's harder for Tay to just double into it. I think he probably has. Oh wow. Okay, huge switch up from Tay here. Complete 180. I was not expecting this. This is awesome. So, I mean, knockoff into Girafarig will obviously get rid of its Eviolite. Does that put it in? I don't know if a double up would kill because close combat will go first. Alright, what is the Terra? Is this... It's probably Bisharp, right? Okay, is this like Ghost or Fairy? Flying, okay. Oh, is this just a Terra Blast into the Flamigo? Holy cow. Does that Girafarig die? Oh wow. I don't think the crit mattered. This is going to be a Terra Blast, so that Flamigo will go down. Man, that animation never gets old. Wow. There are a lot of crits here. I think the only one that really mattered was that close combat into Vaporeon last game. Alright, so they're trading 1 for 1. Honestly, depending on what Tay has in the back here, like I think he would have loved to get Trick Room up, but honestly, trading Girafarig for Flamigo seems pretty worthwhile, I think. So I don't think we're going to see the Terra Fairy from Tinglu on this board state. Well, I mean, we're actually definitely not going to, because Bisharp already Terra'd. Whoops. Forgive me, guys. I am recording this at almost midnight, so forgive me on that. But okay, so he doesn't have, he doesn't have super insane damage into this Bisharp. Pretty sure based on that CC damage that that Girafarig, you can be pretty safe to assume it's Eviolite. Tay has used his Terra and Snoot hasn't, so obviously that's going to be a pretty big... That didn't do that much damage. We'll see the item. It was Eviolite. Wow, okay. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Oh, is this a double? Does this kill? Oh, wow. Oof. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Snoot has the damage remaining to do this. I think this is going to be really tough. Bisharp put in so much work. Yep, Spore seems like the only way. I mean, I don't know if this Toad Scroll even eats the Terra Blast. It probably does. I guess that close combat did do a lot to Girafarig, so I guess it makes sense that it wasn't Eviolite. But let's see what the play is from Tay here. He has so much momentum going into these last few turns. Well, I guess I don't know that they're the last few. Okay, Protect on Tinglu will make sure that the Spore does not go into him. I assume this is gonna... It should live, right? Oh, wow. Oh, Eviolite's gone. Apologize again. Okay, this is a really volatile board state here. I think that if this is Iron Valiant, then Tay is still in a pretty good spot. I think if you're Tay, you're probably if I'm Snoot, I'm probably hoping that this is Vaporeon. It is Iron Valiant, so it seems like a close combat. Like, based on the plays that have been made, it wouldn't seem that crazy for this to just be close combat plus Throat Chop into Toedscruel. That seems like it's probably pretty safe. And you do know that Tinglu is not AV. So maybe going for, Leaf Storm, hoping that maybe you kill the Tinglu. And then going for just damage on Iron Valiant. But a double up here into Toedscruel would make things really tricky for Snoot here, I think. Does this pick up? Not even close. Wow. Okay, Sash broken anyway, and this will be a dead Tinglu or a Toedscruel. I'm pretty sure that's game. I don't really see a way for Snoot to pull this back now. Because he does have his Terra left. He might just be opting to not use it because it's pretty dang near over, I think. Yeah, I think that early game, that early Terra Blast, the surprise of having Eviolite on Bisharp, plus just the... I mean, yeah, Bisharp just put in so much damage that Tinglu was just able to kind of clean up the leftovers, and in general, Roaring Moon is obviously not the... Roaring Moon's not the mon you want in front of Iron Valiant and a bunch of physical attackers. Its physical bulk is obviously very not good. So I imagine that this Stomping Tantrum, we will see the Citrus Berry, and the Pickpocket will steal the leftovers. I love that tech. That tech is so cool. But it looks like a close combat is probably just going to pick up Tinkaton from here. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to call it before it's over, because I've seen crazier things happen. But he can't even Gigaton Hammer now. Like, I don't really see. All right. Wow, what a set. Yeah, GG's to Snoot and Tay both. Tay, congrats on making it to finals again. I don't know if anyone is really surprised that you made it this far again after winning last season. And Snoot, congrats on your season. You had a very incredible run, obviously. Semifinals in a league this stacked is nothing to scoff at. So congrats to both of you. Thanks to Dan for having me commentate this one. Apologies that I was a little rambly and tired through parts of it. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And to the finalists, Tay, and I don't know who the other one is, best of luck. It'll be either Charles or Otto. Best of luck to you guys. And again, Snoot, congrats on your insanely strong season.